Now, for the last 5 years, one restaurant has dominated the food pages of every newspaper in the culinary world. It's called Noma, it's in Denmark, and it's run by this man, René Redzepi. Great to have on the show, Chef.
Thank you.
And on the menu, we're playing with food this morning.
Yeah.
We've managed to get some pork, which we talked about the show. What are you going to cook for us?
It's here. So, well, every time I'm in England, and every time I ask my English cooks what should we eat, they always say, well, for lunch, we just grab a sandwich. And so it's a play on that, actually.
It's a play on a sandwich.
It's a play on a sandwich. There's no bread. Yeah. The bread will be the pork skin. There's nothing more delicious than the skin from a mammal fried crispy. So we're going to do that.
Selling it well, yeah.
And then for the first time ever, I will be cooking with yeast extract, I believe it's called.
Yes, well, it's called something else in the UK, but we can't pronounce it. I can't say that on the BBC.
Okay, so let's just
but people know
yeast.
what it is, yes. Yeah. But you actually make your own yeast extract in the restaurant, don't you?
Yeah, there was a moment a few years ago when they tried to outlaw it in Denmark.
Right.
And I thought, that's strange. There's so many things worse to outlaw than yeast extract. So we said, okay, we're gonna actually try to cook it.
Right. And why would they want to outlaw it?
It's very complicated, and it took us a long time. And I'm sorry, I can't give you out the recipe because it's really, really good. it's actually amazing. You can
this is why he's the #1 in the world, because he doesn't tell you.
Yeast extract that's spectacular, spectacular. And we have it.
Yeah.
All right. So pork skin. Take a bit of the pork away. Oh,
the whole point about this, we're going to make it crackly. That's the key.
That's the thing. So you need to remove the fat as much as you can, and some of the meat. I'm just going to cut a small piece of it here, off like that, and then we will dump it in here, boil it for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And then once it's boiled, you actually dry it in an oven.
So you need to cook it for a couple of hours first, then?
Yeah, you need to tenderize it completely. Yeah. And you can add lots of flavors. You can treat it as a stock so that, you could add onions and condiments in there. What we do at the restaurant, which is a bit expensive, but we melt butter and we brown it, and then we soak these skin in the butter and we cook it in the butter, and they become extra delicious.
I'm definitely going there then. Yeah. That's on my list of places to go.
Once dried, they look like this.
Yeah.
And they're all dry.
Yeah.
And so what I'm going to do while you grill the cabbage is that...
Now, you like to leave a bit of the root on the cabbage.
Yeah, the juiciness.
Yeah.
We'll see if this works. This should expand 10, 15 times now. This is a generous donation from a good restaurant in London that came by with this.
Yeah, just to tell you the story, you've actually lost your luggage, haven't you?
I lost the luggage. I brought these things because they take 24 hours to cook, and I thought... I'm going to bring it. Let's see. Wake up, little skin. Yeah. Wake up, little skin. And the skin is awake. There we go. Look now the way it's expanding. And then what you do is that you simply take this wonderful skin, which is pretty amazing, and you just flatten it. And then you have a piece of toast. Just like that.
Wonderful.
Or a big pork scratching.
Or a big pork scratching. Or a toast. I'm going to make 2 of these.
Now, your restaurant, you've got. I mean, your restaurant's based on, well, not many covers, really, in the restaurant.
40 seats.
40 seats. Yeah. And tell us about the ordering system, because the ordering system is incredible, because
3 months
just
in
to
advance,
get a table...
3 months in advance, you need to be ready on the phone so that, you get a table. Although I would say 99.9% of all people wanting a table, they're couples. Yeah. So if you can find a friend or two,
then that's the key. That's the key to getting a table.
It becomes much easier, much easier.
And you've got, I mean, the restaurant seats 40 covers, but you've got 4 kitchens in the restaurant as well.
We have a mise en place kitchen, which is a prep kitchen. Yeah. And then we have an actual service kitchen, and then we have 2 other kitchens where we do all the. Well, one is we call the kitchen for intuition. That's where we play with all the daily changes. Ingredients comes in, and we sort of let our intuition guides us. And then we have another kitchen where it's filled with young, vibrant culinary nerds that are investigating into future things that we're going to eat.
Because, I mean, you've taken inspiration from so many different people throughout your career, but wasn't it originally you wanted to be a waiter? Was that right, originally?
Yeah, I quickly changed my mind. I started out 21 years ago at culinary school thinking, well, you know, who makes the most money? That was basically my motivation.
Yeah.
And then I started cooking, and I really enjoyed that. But I'm happy that I've had the waiter side of things because, as we all know, service is what really, in the end, creates that extra magic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's see here. So we're grilling these for some flavor.
Yeah.
Gonna put it here, and what we're gonna do is afterwards, you can dump this into the yeast extract butter.
That's the one, yes.
Yeah. and just cook it.
So all I've basically done is we've basically got the this mixture is in there, a little bit of water, some, like he says, the yeast extract. We've got in there the butter, and I've basically made it into a sauce. I'll turn that off. And we'll just basically cook that down gently. Turn that oil off. Mm-hmm. There you go.
We're all good. And then we just tenderize it.
Yep. I'm going to put it back into the pan anyway.
Yeah, do that. So that it just cooks a bit more. Yeah. I'm going to slice... What was the name of this apple?
That's a Bramley apple.
A good tart Bramley apple.
Yeah, it's a Bramley apple.
Which is crucial for this dish, or this sandwich.
Now, as well as being a genius in the kitchen, I mean, writing is a huge part of your life as well.
Actually, it became, yes.
Sorry?
Yes, it has become that, actually.
Yeah. But, I mean, so many different books you've written. The new one in particular, tell us about that, because it's a combination of sort of 3 books in one.
It's called A Work in Progress. It's a new book. It's a 3-volume book, where the heart of the book is actually that you will be reading a creative journal that I wrote throughout the year so that I could better understand, you know, that crazy process it is to do new things.
Yeah.
And then there's a recipe book as well of all the things that came out of that. You're very handy. You're really good.
Available as part of the brigade if you want to. There you go.
Cool, you're making me all nervous here. All right, so yeah, I've done that. I'm actually going on a book tour for it around the world.
You're going on a book tour, and you've got a fellow chef touring the book tour with you.
Yeah.
He's over there.
Lars. His name, he's called Lars, but there's 7 R's in his name. So
7 R's in his name?
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's a joke.
Oh, okay.
So what we do is that... Oh, yeah, this is cooking. Perfect.
Yeah, that's cooking down nicely.
So what this does, the yeast extract, the secret yeast extract, is adding flavor to this, and the butter coats it a bit, and it gives it that meaty flavor that we so much love. So my idea is that we're going to take this, and then we're going to take this lovely pork, and we're going to take this here, and I'm just going to add a little bit of lemon zest to the pork skin to refresh it. And I do also add acidity here.
I mean, people, the generation of foodies now look at you as being sort of the forefront of where cooking's going. Who do you sort of look to as well in terms of, because you work with some amazing people. You work.
Yeah.
You know,
well, there's a woman in America that I think is astonishing. Her name is Alice Waters. Yeah. I've always really liked her. I ate at her restaurant called Chez Panisse a long time ago. Yeah. I think she has some powerful messages in terms of food that we should be listening to. But you know, you guys also have amazing chefs. When I was growing up as a cook, you know, I had posters with the Roux brothers in my room. Yeah. Yeah. My friends, they had naked girls and so on. I had Michel Roux. Maybe that's weird. Maybe that's weird.
He sent you it and signed it, did he?
Maybe that's weird. So
what would be weird is if it was a naked picture of Michel Roux.
So,
that would be weird.
What I do is I add this cabbage now.
Yeah.
Would you mind picking a few of the leaves?
So we've got some coriander. Now, you're using one of my favourite herbs over there, lemon verbena. I love this sort of herb.
love this too, and it adds lots of freshness. So we add this.
How long does it take between the idea of a recipe to its sort of finish for you to come up with?
Well, that was my motivation for writing that book, to understand it so that we could maybe speed up the process. Yeah. But, you know, I mean, the way that I've experienced creativity, it is your ability to take your past and use your intuition and bring it into the now. And when you do that well, that's when something new happens.
Well, this is certainly new. We've got a sandwich here, layering off the sliced apples, a little bit of lemon on the apples.
There you go. New English sandwich.
I've never had a sandwich like that, but put it on there,
Yeah.
and we'll have a look at it. It's going to be interesting to try and eat this one.
There you go. For your afternoon tea.
And while you place that, I want to thank all the chefs who have helped this, because we were genuinely, I was texting everybody at 8 o'clock in the morning. Now I'm the bad boy for waking everybody up at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning, but we've eventually found some pork, so we pulled it out of the bag. So tell us the name of this dish then.
Pork and yeast extract sandwich.
That's what it is. And we get to try this one. I don't know how we're going to eat this together, but you want to serve this with a few pickles, so have a seat over there.
Thank you.
We've got some pickled cucumber there.
Yeah.
You want to serve with that, so...
Dive in.
Dive in, yeah, dive in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dive in.
Sharing is caring, all right?
Now, there's going to be people wanting this, want to know how to book in your restaurant. It opens only for a small window, really, the booking system.
Oh, God, that's
Yeah.
So people have genuinely got to wait there. I know until you were trying to get a table as well. Eventually got one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
I mean-
I won't tell anyone how I got it.
It's if you are two people, it is like a little lottery. But if you find some friends, it's much easier.
There you go. And if you can't get in, definitely buy the book, because it really
It
is
looks
fantastic.
like I can't be civilized here, sorry.
With that, dive in.
Yeah. So curry and sandwich.
That's what it is. Right, we need some wines to go with this. Our wine expert Susie Atkins has been to London this week, so we choose to go with Rene's stunning sandwich.
Beautiful.
Rene, with your pork skin sandwich, I'm heading straight for a crisp, lemony, appley white. Now, if you're a fan of French wines, I think that means Muscadet. And this example from Fif Guérin would be really good. But I want something just a little bit riper and juicier. And so the wine I've chosen is the Cederberg Chenin Blanc 2012, and it's from South Africa. Having just been to South Africa, I am so impressed by the improved quality of its Chenin Blanc. What used to be a workhorse grape variety, turning out lots of cheap and not so cheerful white wines, has become a serious star. And its wine smells so vibrant and fruity now. It will come as no surprise to discover that wines with appley flavours go really well with pork, and there's plenty of appley flavour here. There are also in the recipe apples themselves and lemon zest, lemon juice, lemon verbena. That only makes the dish and the wine chime in together even better. But what I like about this wine, the Chenin Blanc in particular, is it's got enough strong personality, enough richness to stand up to the savoury touch that's delivered by those Marmite glazed cabbage leaves. Rene, this is an unusual and creative take on a pork sandwich, and one of the many reasons I love it is it goes so well with a glass of modern, juicy white wine. I hope you agree.
Certainly are. We're discussing fish skin sandwich next. I don't know. But what do you reckon to this? Great wine combination, I
Great
think.
wine, yeah.
Fantastic.
Fits it.
So, I mean, so simple flavours, but fantastic combination.
It's amazing.
The
way it
texture
works.
is amazing. The freshness, beautiful.
Absolutely.
A little bit of a surprise, and that's important.
And the skin doesn't feel fatty at all.
No, not at all. It feels
Kind of
very
all
light.
the fat has
Very
been
light.
taken out. It's amazing.
There you go. Have a go at that at home. Right, cooking next is this man, one of the finest Indian chefs in the country from the Michelin-star Benares restaurant. It's Atul Kutcher. Great to have on the show.
Thank you.
Chef, what are we making? We've got browning onions there.
We are
The
browning
smell of
onions.
chicken cooking away. What are we making?
Absolutely. So what we have is roast chicken vindaloo. And I have all the spices here.
Yeah.
Probably from the Saturday Kitchen pantry, everything is here.
exactly.
So I got cinnamon, coriander, red chili, fenugreek, turmeric, red chili powder, a pinch of garam masala, and a pinch of ginger powder. So I'm going to mix all together.
So is these the spice mix for a vindaloo curry then? This would be it, would it?
This is vindaloo curry, really speaking.
Right.
And originally, it was vindaloo is originally Portuguese. And they started making this, and the original dish was called carne de vino de alhos, which is meat cooked with vinegar and garlic.
Right.
So
Okay.
spices came much later when Portuguese brought this dish to India.
Yeah.
We started adding spices to it, and of course, when we met British, they added more spices to it,
Yeah.
and it reached Birmingham finally, and it became a lot more spicier.
So more spicy in Birmingham than it is in India?
In India, absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely, believe it or not. So a little bit of oil, All the spices are in there. Garlic. Half of the garlic goes there. Half the garlic goes in the sauce.
Yeah.
And I'll use my Slater. A little bit of vinegar as well goes in. Red wine vinegar.
Now, what
Put
you're
that
going to
here
do
as
is
well.
using this for the marinade for the
We'll
chicken
use this for
as
the
well.
marinade for the chicken.
Yeah.
And I'll need a little bit of lime juice as well, James, for this.
Lime juice, I can do that,
Thank
yeah.
you. And I'm going to burn the hair. The bird has got... Oops, come on.
Sorry, you're burning the hair?
Yeah.
Bird's hair.
Burning the hair.
No, it's amazing. I've never
It's
done
important to burn it, otherwise, you know, the hair, especially in the roast chicken, it comes in your mouth. Doesn't taste nice.
that. I can't imagine that does, actually.
It's always near the leg. Burn the hair.
Okay. It smells
Okay.
really nice as well, doesn't it?
It smells nice. Burning hair.
Very specific.
Well, that's the essential flavor of Vindaloo, chef. Okay, what I'm going to do is just paste it on top.
Yeah.
And chef, I'll need all the carrots in there.
So the carrots as well. Now tell me about the Vindaloo then, because you said, I mean, India, you said Birmingham, but Goa has, you know,
Goa, that's where it all
fantastic
started.
Vindaloo. I've been to Goa, but they have on the menu quite a lot.
Absolutely. They make it with difference. They are the people who are responsible for adding cloves, cinnamon, red chili.
Right.
And they made it really, really flavorsome. And the original Vindaloo is actually a curry.
Yeah.
It's a really, really hot curry. But we, in the UK, I just wanted to take the heat away and wanted to add all the flavors. So a little bit of carrots, same marinade. Let's not lose anything.
Now, this is something that you serve in the restaurant as well, carrots like this and the chicken like this.
Yes, chef. And
10 years you've been open as well?
10 years we have been open at Banaras, celebrating 10th year, so coming up with a beautiful book called Banaras Cookbook with all the 10 years of recipes.
Do you want this in here?
Absolutely, chef. Thank you.
We'll pop
And
this in there. How long would you cook this for then?
it'll take about good 25 to 30 minutes. So I'll give 20 minutes, take it out, baste it, and then put it back again.
Okay. We've got
Now
one
all
in
these
here.
spices would go in again.
So what you're making now, you're making the sauce to go with this then, yeah?
I'm making a sauce, stroke gravy, curry, whatever you want to call it. The spices would go in, saute the spices, and then add the red wine vinegar. So garlic and vinegar both are in.
Now, on your travels, you've been all over the place doing
Yes, sir.
bits and pieces. Where's the most interesting place you found the curry then? Of all the places that people could go? Because I know you mentioned Punjab this morning.
Punjab, the Yorkshire of India.
Punjab is the Yorkshire of India, is it? Why is it Punjab? Why is that?
James, it's beautiful. That's to start with. And then we also have some of the best food coming from Punjab. Okay? And as a proud Punjabi, I'll stand up for it. I know you want to fight
So the
with me.
Punjab, the Punjab is what? You grains and well, you've got great meat there as well.
Great meat.
Yeah,
Easy.
yeah.
Great meat. All the corn, wheat, some beautiful rice. Everything comes from Punjab.
Right.
So here for making masala corn,
Yeah.
I got some chaat masala, red chili powder, sugar.
Now,
And-
chaat masala, is that a mixed spice?
It's a mixed spice.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
And some salt, and all the corn can go in.
So this is, well, you can use tinned or frozen corn, yeah?
I would use frozen.
Okay.
Now this sauce
Yeah.
also takes roasted bones. Okay.
So this is the garnish for the chicken. This is the sauce.
This is the sauce for the chicken. Yeah.
Okay.
Use that here.
So in there, we've browned off the onions. You've got the tomato in there. You put the vinegar in there as well.
Vinegar as well.
That's the Vindaloo part, is it?
Garlic and vinegar.
Yeah.
There's a must, and then tomato. And then I will add palm sugar, which is here. That goes in. And add plenty of chicken stock. And let it simmer, I would say, for a good 45 minutes.
So a lot of people, when they have Vindaloo, the whole lot is mixed in with the sauce and everything else.
Yeah, that's a curry.
Right.
Okay. So what I've done is I've taken the chicken out, roasted it with the same spices.
Yeah.
And also made a gravy to go with it, which is essentially a curry. Can I have some chopped coriander, chef, for this?
Chopped coriander, I could do that, yeah.
Right, this is looking good.
No problem.
So I got my chicken here
Yeah.
and my carrots. Wow, they're beautiful.
So you want the coriander in there, do you? Or
Yes, chef, please. Thank you.
in there?
We can reduce the heat on that.
Turn that down. So, I mean, you brown the butter quite a lot. You would do that to get lots of flavour in there in here?
Yes, yes, chef.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, I know you didn't want hot and spicy foods. How does it sound as a Vindaloo sound, Rennie?
For breakfast?
It's great.
Smashing.
Katie, what about you? Vindaloo curry for breakfast. It's,
You know, I'm not the
have a
world's
look,
biggest
Manoj?
fan of spicy food, so this morning has been very interesting. But the
good.
prawns were amazing, so I'm hoping that this is going to follow on quite well.
There you go. Right.
Oh, that was a good knife, chef. I missed that one.
There you go.
I was looking for it.
Right, so the sauce you brought to the boil, you've gently simmered that for what?
It takes,
one?
after reducing it, so this is simmering for a good 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Take it off, and then reduce it for a good 10-15 minutes. Correct the seasoning, salt, sugar, if you want to. A little bit of coriander can go in. And that looks like a beautiful gravy to me.
Okay. So
And we are ready to serve, chef.
Yep.
Can use this knife for yours. Cut that straight into half.
Yeah.
So we are...
Anybody wanting an idea, Christmas with a difference, this with a whole roast chicken would be fantastic.
Absolutely. This would be amazing. This is what we are doing in our restaurant in Banaras and in Indian Essence in Pittswood.
Yeah.
And this is on my menu at the moment in both the places. So half and half. Take the bone off because that's really not required.
Yeah.
That goes away. Corn.
The corn's so quick as well, that's the thing.
Beautiful, chef. I am addicted to this corn.
And it's the same spices of what you've got in the sauce as well, so...
Yeah, sauce has got absolutely same spices. A little bit of watercress would be good.
Do that, yeah.
The Yorkshire bit is important in that, chef.
What's that? The watercress?
Watercress.
It's from Hampshire, this stuff.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought you said Yorkshire this morning.
Did I? I might have done. Might have made that bit up.
At this point, he's just claiming everything for Yorkshire. So I
that's
just
my
accept
gravy.
that.
Claiming everything.
You did know Vindaloo's from Yorkshire, you know?
Sweet corn and the chickens from Yorkshire, and the
Almost
carrots.
forgot my carrots there. Beautiful.
Happy with that? So tell us the
Oh,
name of this
very
dish.
happy with that. Roast chicken with masala corn and roast carrots and the gravy.
It certainly looks better than the vindaloo I've eaten before, but look at that. It looks good. What does it taste like? Do you want to bring over the gravy?
I will, chef.
You bring over the gravy. You get to try this one as well, so... I don't know where you start with that one, but dive in. Tell us what you think of that one. But
Guys, if
just
you
pour
want
the
to
gravy
yes,
over the
please,
top.
a little bit of gravy on top.
Just pour the gravy over the top. Which is that?
Oh, it smells amazing.
Thank you.
So you put the butter in there just to finish off the sauce.
Absolutely. Beurre Monte is the word. So
Yeah.
just to make sure the sauce is rounded out.
As well. I mean, the sweet corn's so fantastic. I mean, it's so quick.
They're extra sweet corn, so you have to just balance it with a little bit of salt, lime juice, sugar. Works really well. Works with wonder.
Happy with that?
It's a really good winter dish. It's really warming. Obviously,
Warming, but
Vindaloo.
when you think of vindaloo, you think hot and fiery and really hot. And that's not, not that hot.
No, it's just all the flavors of spices are there. But after making the sauce, you have taken away all the heat as well. So you reduce the sauce just
Happy
to
with
get
that?
the essential.
Beautifully seasoned.
Everybody's
Lovely.
Right, we need time to answer a couple of your foodie questions. Each caller is also going to help decide what Katie will be eating at the end of the show. First off, we've got Sandra from Norfolk. Are you there, Sandra?
Good morning, James.
Hi there. What's your question for us?
I've got some like 3 bags of beef cheeks in the freezer. So apart from like the ordinary sort of like, carrots, onions, bung them in the oven, do a casserole. Got any
Beef-
ideas what I can do?
Beef cheeks. Great in a curry, beef
Oh,
cheeks.
it'll be amazing, to be honest, because it's just a kind of meat that needs to be cooked slowly. So I would sear them first and put them in a pan with lots of onion, carrot, cinnamon, cardamom, all the dark spices I would use, all the kind of black colored. So black cardamom, cinnamon, clove, black pepper, put it with the beef stock, braise it slowly, take the beef cheeks out, reduce the stock, pour it on top, and serve the vegetables on the side. Lovely, heavenly dish.
Fantastic. What would you like to see at the end of the show? Heaven or hell?
Oh, definitely heaven.
Heaven it is. And June from Davy, are you there, June?
Hello, James.
Hi there. What's your question for us?
I've got some duck gizzards which I bought from the local farmer's market. Could you tell me the best thing to do with them?
Of course you have. Duck gizzards. Ching, do you want to take? Would you want to take this one, Rennie? Both of you. So, Ching, first of all, you fire away.
Duck gizzards. Okay, I would just blanch it with some spice like star anise, some white pepper, maybe some spring onions. So lightly poach it for a few minutes and then take it out and then slice it very, very thinly. Then get a wok, really hot oil in there with some spices like Sichuan pepper, Chinese 5 spice, some chilies, and then throw them in there with some leeks and some dark soy, some Shaoxing wine. It'd be beautiful.
There you go. And Rennie, you had one as well?
Well, yeah. You know what? Do you have a meat grinder? If so, then I would actually grind it up and I would cook it into a bolognese for something different. You know, add your wines and your condiments and then stew it until it's tender and moist and delicious.
There you go. Got bolognese as well. What dish would you like to see? Heaven or hell?
Oh, heaven, please.
Heaven it is. Right, you know the rules by now. 3-egg omelette. Cooked as fast as you can. So we've got our pans on the heat ready. So I know that Renee wants to beat a certain Sat Baines at the top of our board.
I can't.
You can sit it out with this one because you're already on here.
I can't beat him. It's 20 seconds.
Right, usual rules apply. Let's put the clocks on the screens, please. 3-egg omelette cooked as fast as you can. Are you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go. Feeling nervous with the man sat next to you?
Yeah.
So he's been practicing that.
Yeah, this sticks, this pan.
We're there, we're there.
Is that a pan? Is that an omelet?
Yeah.
It sticks.
I'll give you a hand.
You should have some new pans. Should really get some new pans. There's my omelette.
Don't worry, we'll edit this bit out. See, you think that's bad? I've got to taste them. Right. Happy with that? Renee, how do you think you did?
Let me see. Pretty okay.
Well, you're going on the board because we'll have to wait 7 years to get you back again. so you did it in 32.92 seconds, which puts you not there, but about there. There.
Oh, pretty up, Renee.
So
Well
you're
done.
about there.
Not too bad.
So you built Michel Roux. There you go. Atul.
Seriously.
Do you think you're better than 22 seconds?
Not sure.
No, you're not. So anyway, you can take that back to Denmark and put that next to your poster with Michel Roux. There you go. Right, well, Katie get her idea of food heaven. That beef stew and dumplings or food hell, parsley and pea soup with mini salmon cakes. Our chefs will make their choices whilst you get more tasty home-cooked food from the brilliant Simon. Right, it's that time of the show to find out whether Katie will be facing food heaven or food hell. Food heaven would be beef, which I know you love, which turned into a nice stew with onions. And we got some little dumplings there, a little bit of herbs, but not parsley, because that's your food hell. And we've got a little bit of thyme there with some carrots. Food hell, on the other hand, would be a big pile of parsley, which they put right next to you, to be honest. But literally, that could be transformed into a soup with peas. It was up to these guys to decide. It was 2-0 to everybody at home. They were all kind to you, because all of them chose beef. There you go. So we'll lose this out of the way.
Thank you, guys.
Jing and Nasa, if you can lose this out of the way. If you can peel me the carrots, please, and then we'll top and tail them and cut those in half.
In front of you.
So the first thing I want to do is get this beef on the go. So we're going to take a little bit of the beef. Not too much flour, just a touch of flour. Get that started and get this started in these hot pans, really, over here. So if you can cut the onions as well in half for me, that would be great.
Chef. Coming up.
So we're going to seal off this beef.
I feel very spoiled with all these people cooking right now.
Well, you're used to lots of people around you in big budget things because, you know, I mentioned it at the top there, you've got this new sort of drama as well. Well, you can tell us about it, but fantastic drama.
Well, it's called Dracula, and it's on Sky Living on Thursdays at 9 o'clock. And it's sort of, I don't want to say a new take on an old story, but it does use Bram Stoker's original book as its basis, and then it sort of flips it on its head. It's a co-production with NBC in the States, so it's kind of the best of British drama with an American glitz and gloss over it. So if you ever see it, it looks like a film, and there's production values.
The production value, it's made by the same people who make Downton Abbey, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You can see the serious production
I know.
value.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I mean, it was a 7-month shoot in Budapest for 10 episodes, so... And we've got Jonathan Rhys-Meyers playing Dracula, which is the world's most perfect casting.
Yeah.
So, you know...
I mean, there's several people... I mean, there's people
Irish
in it,
as well, just saying.
There's people in it who you worked before, because you worked on the Tudors as well. People have seen that. So you make the dumplings, please.
I worked crew on the Tudors, actually, was my first job for about 6 months, and I was obviously so awful at it that they decided that I'd be better as an actress, which is debatable, but, you know... But it was very weird to go and do Dracula, because I've known Johnny about 6 years now, 7 years, and for my first job in film to be lacing girls into corsets to being on screen next to him is a bit of a jump.
I mean, what is that like, taking something that's... I mean, people know it so well, Dracula, and trying to make it, you know, a new version of it? Because it's been done so many times. How do you make it different?
I think the fact that it's been done so many times shows sort of the enduring popularity of it and how good a story it is and how many twists you can take on it. And this is just another twist on it. The basis and the bones of the story is so good. I mean, probably because it's set in Yorkshire, I don't know. That's probably why it's so good. and
So
written
Yorkshire's
by...
coming back again, you see.
Yeah.
Really, but it is, Yorkshire has got, you know, there is a connection between Dracula and Yorkshire.
Yes, there is. Whitby is in Yorkshire, so... But I think it being such a solid story and such a solid book, and there's so many different levels to it, that you can pull bits out. And our version is just another version of it, you know? And it's different, it's new, and it brings in modernity, and it's visually stunning, and the performances are amazing, and it's, you know, you can turn off and watch it and just indulge.
But that must be great as an actor to get the phone call and know that you've got, you know, there is big budgets involved in it as well.
Well, the creators behind it, the budget, and having the guys who did Downton and NBC in the States and the producers in the States, all of it together was kind of a no-brainer. You wanted to be involved. And then when you hear Johnny's playing Dracula, you're like, yeah, OK, that's kind of... Anyone can do it.
Yeah.
You know, that man... Probably because he's Irish. And Vic Smurfit's Irish too. We're basically taking over.
Yeah.
So when is it aired now then? When are we the...
You're 2 episodes in. So the second episode was on last night on Sky Living, and then obviously the third is next Thursday at 9.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so stay
You've had it too much
You can get it on demand.
You can get it. Yes, if you miss it, Sky Demand anyone, you can just keep on watching. I like to store a load of episodes up personally and really
watch them in one go.
Watch them in one go.
For Christmas.
A lot of chocolate or some beef stew. Yeah.
Sounds like.
But I mean, people watching this will have seen you in other things as well. I mean, W.E. That was a great film that Madonna.
Yes, I did. I
was a huge part of.
Yeah, well, she directed it, and it was with Andrea Riseborough, who is just astonishing. You know, so there was that, and then I did Merlin for 5 years for the BBC, which, like, I owe everything in my life to that show. I mean, I wouldn't be where I am if they hadn't given me that chance. So, you know. Kind of amazing to be part of something like that because it became such a cultural thing and it was in so many countries. So, you know, it's nice that I will always have that.
Yeah. Right, just to recap what was happened, because a lot's gone on since then. I've just browned off the beef. That's got in there with red wine. The onions have gone in there. The stock's gone in, bay leaves. And then what we do is we basically just gently cook this. And then what the guys are doing is little dumplings, little sort of thyme dumplings. So this would go into the oven. For a good sort of... He wants to be in for about an hour, really. Something like that. Before you add your dumplings, then cook it for another hour and a half. Sorry, another half an hour to 45 minutes when the dumplings go in. The guys are shaking them there. The secret of it is not making them too wet. But also not too dry, because you don't want to be drying out and they'll dry out your beef stew. So what's next after this? So we've seen you as a vampire. You like to play all the sort of... characters with great storylines. What's next for you? Or are you just waiting for the next script to come
Well, no,
along?
I just finished a film which I did in Johannesburg. So it was an indie film called Leading Lady, which is modern, so it's different, which was nice after Dracula. And now we're just hoping we're going to do a second season. We all want to go back. It was the most amazing 7 months. It was completely difficult and hard, but I would do anything to work with those guys again, and we're sort of going to hear, I guess,
So
soon.
has it been left with a storyline that you can go back, or is it this going to be something...
Well, you're all just going to have to watch. You're going to have to stay tuned for the next 7 weeks and find out. You won't be disappointed there, promise. Especially with my character.
Right, this is a little bit of reduction. In the carrots, I've got sugar, I've got salt, we've got water, of course, we've got butter, and then what I'm going to do is just glaze this carrot at the end, really.
So this is a very healthy meal.
Sorry?
This is a very healthy meal.
What, this bit? This bit, when I do this bit?
When you're throwing all that butter on the carrot.
Yeah, it's not really the healthy bit. But we've got nice little... See, we've got very small dumplings, you see.
Yeah.
You like it? You like it?
Ladylike.
You like
They're
it?
ladylike.
So, Rennie, you obviously clearly hasn't been to... You see, you clearly haven't been north of the border, because that is where I come from. What is this?
That's a bread roll.
No, it's
These
not.
are bite-sized. That's how we do them in
These are
Scandinavia.
elegant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously? They look like this?
That's a dumpling.
Not in his
So
restaurant.
what's this then?
So we poach them like this
Ball.
size. Yeah.
Yeah.
We poach the dumplings we do are this size, and they fit on a spoon. I mean,
Elegant.
you wouldn't want to give this to a lady this size. You know, it just doesn't fit.
I'm
There has
cooking
been
this
a
for
war
myself,
going
Rennie. I've
on
not
all
had
over
anything.
between Yorkshire and
Yeah.
everywhere else, just so that I know he's getting very touchy.
Yorkshire. Danish.
Right. And then, look, we've got this beef
I
stew.
better not show the Indian one.
No,
right?
you know, we could...
You know you're going to win.
Punjab.
Who's going to do the American one?
Right. And you've
I
got
put
the
all
carrot.
three together.
No, you can just keep them doing that to your heart's consent. I don't need them. I'm just giving you a job to do.
I'm gonna
accidentally. I've got it done already.
So unfair.
Yeah.
So good.
This is the dumpling.
Well, you lot are waffling away, you know.
Big dumpling.
Right, there's your beef stew and dumplings.
This is so good.
Thank you.
I am so happy right now.
Oh.
I can't even tell you.
Right, we've got some wine to go with this.
You got to try the dumpling.
Hopefully it was. A Puy de Dôme Pinot Noir from Majestic, priced at £8.99, 2011. Do you want to pour there?
Absolutely, chef. Happily.
Happy with that?
This is so
The
good.
dumplings need to be a decent size, you see, Renee.
Yorkshire dumplings.
You know,
I think
not
I
bad.
prefer them smaller.
Now, I know you've lost your luggage, so I had these ready for you. So I've got you. This is what you can travel around the world wearing this, you see. Because I thought, now you've lost your luggage, you can wear that. All right?
All right.
All right. There you go.
What does it say?
You may be number
Number
1,
3.
but that place is still number 3. I was going to get printed with number 2, but that would have meant a whole different thing. Right, there you go.
That's for me.
You got one each.
Fantastic. Thank you.
And Lars is
Yeah.
not mixed out as well, because just so you don't look like Tweedledum Tweedledee, I've got Lars one as well.
Bye. It's your
It's a private job. There you go, Lars. That's all for today on Saturday Kitchen Live. Thanks to Ching Hee Wan, Atul Kutcher and Rani Redzepi. Cheers to Katie
Cheers.
McGrath for, and our fabulous
Cheers.
Susie Atkins for the
Cheers.
wine kitchen. Remember, all of today's recipes are on our website. Go to bbc.co.uk/Saturday Kitchen. You can enjoy more great recipes tomorrow morning over on BBC Two in our Best Bites programme that's slightly earlier at 9:30. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here at the normal time of 10 o'clock next week. What a brilliant show. Bye for now.